Hey guys, welcome to day 2 for LAL. Remember that this week there's only 2 assignments for LAL. There's the one assignment with the short answer, the short response, and then there's the task that I'm going to be going over right now. Remember that I always post the assignment from here when you click on it on a separate document, so Mrs. Alameda will send it to you guys through email. So the assignment for today is a writing task. So I highlighted and underlined important parts that you need to focus on. So it says here, you have read 3 texts. What is a fable, zebra and wasp, and the ants and the grasshopper? In the text called What is a Fable, you learned that fables have animals as the main characters. You also learned that the animals often do foolish things. So you already see here that it's in quotation marks because they grabbed this sentence from the story, What is a Fable, to show me that they're showing me evidence. So that's an example of evidence. So what you have to do, utilizing the zebra and wasp and the story, the ants and the grasshopper, you're using both stories. Remember, guys, you're not just picking one story. It says and. I'm going to highlight this because it's telling you guys that you need to do both stories. I'll even put a note on the bottom here and remind you guys that you have to write about both stories, because I know someone out there will just pick one story and write about the one story, but no, we are comparing the both stories. So, in the fable Zebra and Wasp and the ants and the grasshopper, the animals learn an important lesson. Write an essay to explain how the actions of the animals in these 2 fables show that they are foolish. So basically, you guys have to just write an essay about what did the animals do. Actions. Actions are what they're doing. What do they do in the story that shows you guys that they were acting foolish? In both stories, there's a lot of examples in both stories. I suggest you guys highlighting it if you can, or printing it out and highlighting the story, or if you even want to look for the sentence and then write the sentence on a piece of paper, you can do that too. It's good to have it. And if you want to do maybe like a T-chart and you want to do foolish things, and then you can do zebra and wasp on one side and then the ant on the grasshopper on one side, I would totally recommend that, because that would make it so much easier for you guys to see. And it'll help you organize your essay. And then it says here, use what you learned about the characters in Zebra and Wasp and the ants and the grasshopper to support your essay. So we have the story, the ant and the grasshopper. So remember, these stories are very short. So you already know in some of these where the problem is, where they acted foolish. So you can already know in this story, the grasshopper is the one who acts foolish, right? So the problem here was that he didn't have any food. But what did he do that was foolish, that made him had no food and had him go hungry during the winter? And then, as well as Zebra and the Wasp, here there was another foolish act as well. There was actually a couple foolish acts. There was a foolish act on behalf of the wasp, and then as well as the zebra. They both did foolish things. So you guys can also point that out as well. Of course, in your essay, you always have to have an opening sentence. You have to mention the lesson learned by the animals in each fable. So you have to tell me what was the lesson that they learned in Zebra and Wasp and Ants and the Grasshopper. And then you have to support that lesson, what you just said here, with evidence from the story that they learned. Well, what they did before they learned the lesson. So what did they do before they learned their lesson? Which is, what did they do to show that they were foolish? And then what was the lesson that they learned after? So you have to tell me, oh, zebra learned blah, 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 blah. The action that the zebra did to show that they are foolish was blah, 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 because in the story, blah, 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 blah. So there you have like a couple of sentences. And then, of course, you need a closing. So with an essay, you guys know that Mrs. Almeida always asks about 10 to 12 sentences. So that would be what we want to have you guys complete for this LAL assignment. Make sure you guys are using correct punctuation, correct vocabulary, correct spelling, and capitalization. Look over your work. You guys have time. Again, you have all week to complete this. So if you guys just want to prepare the work for today, maybe make the T-chart and find out the actions that they did that were foolish, and then you can find out what was the lesson that they learned. That would be perfect. And then maybe on Wednesday you can actually start writing, and then maybe complete it by Wednesday night. It's your choice. Or if you want to do it all today, you can do that as well. But I suggest you guys taking your time with this and finding out all the information, because there is a lot of information between these two stories. Okay? So if you guys have any questions, of course, ask. Good luck, and I wish you a good day.